I don't know if you can hope to be excited. You're either excited or you're not. Check your pulse. Is it racing?
And we have a blat timer.
We do, and we have all 4 runners started. Headed over to Ridley, the one boss in this game you cannot beat. Got a couple of different strategies headed down there. You got some angling down, you got some doing little jumps. Everybody pretty close here, though.
Got some runners deciding to dance inside the non-corporeal dragon.
I mean, if you're not dancing, are you really trying?
Well, I mean, we do have the expert on moon dance in this race, so I suppose that is an appropriate question.
Exactly. You gotta dance.
Everybody dance now.
Bow, 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 bow. You can dance if you want to, you can leave Metroids behind. Cause if Ridley don't dance and Kraid don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
That was off the top of your head, wasn't it?
Yup, that was exactly off the top of my head. Alright, we've got everybody out of Sirius Station as it blows up. We got all 4 runners blowing up here in this race, headed down towards Zebes. That's pretty sure that's how you say it. I don't know. I never learned anything properly.
Interesting fact for you, so far, the only timer that has not been beaten in this tournament is the Blat timer. So with that statistic in mind, what do you think Jack's chances are of winning his race against Caaaaarlito?
I'd say a good 60-70. That's how math works, right?
Something like that.
I think we do want Kraid to dance. Kraid can bring it.
I mean, Kraid wants to go to prom, so...
He does.
It makes sense.
He's got a basket full of puppies, I've heard. Alright, we got one moonfall, one strange moonfall in the top left, and a moonfall in the bottom right. I have not seen that swag of a moonfall in my entire life.
That is what is known as the Behemoth Moonfall. It's a little bit of a weave. It's a few frames faster, because you don't have to make sure that you clear that platform on the right. So that's actually slightly more optimal than the traditional moonfall along the right side of the room.
Plus, it looks swag.
It definitely does.
That's the important part. We've got 3 Morphin Balls. If you collect enough Morphin Balls, do you think you get invited to be a Power Ranger?
Why do that when you already have Mighty Morphin Bounty Hunters?
Exactly. It's interesting just how many different ways there are to approach getting down towards Alpha Missile as well. I've probably seen 5 or 6 different approaches just in the time that I've been watching these races alone. Everybody's got a little bit different way of doing it.
Well, and one of the biggest things with running this game is consistency is often more important than proficiency. So if you find something that's not necessarily the most optimal strat, but it's more consistent for you, generally that's going to be a better way to go while you're developing your skills.
It's all about that development. We've got a lot of pits here for most of our runners. Everybody's staying pretty neck and neck. We've only got 3 people in the climb now. The 4th is approaching. We've got a behemoth climb. It looks like we've got 2 wall jump climbs, 3 wall jump climbs. So at least as far as I can tell, Caaaaarlito's the only one with the behemoth climb.
Yeah, ShinyZeni, I believe, does a little bit of a hybrid. He does a wall jump climb almost all the way to the top, and then for the last couple platforms there, he does more the JD style.
All right, we've got our first bomb here. Jack grabbing the bomb. I'm assuming all these runners are going to go for the 5-4-3. We'll see if they're able to pull it off, though. Looks like we got a little bit of a safe farm there to avoid that health drop by Ddraig. We do have the runners forcing the bomb Chorizo back. Let's see. Looks like we've got Caaaaarlito finishing with the 5-4-3. We've got ShinyZeni with the 5-4-3. We'll see if Ddraig is the final one to finish that off.
If I remember right, Ddraig is actually pretty new to the SM community. I think he joined shortly after I did.
And how long has that been?
I joined in March, so it would have been the last few months.
Well, after me, and yet you're way better. It just goes to show it doesn't matter necessarily how long it is compared to somebody else that's been running. You don't have to have played for a billion years like Behemoth or Zost or any of those people to get towards the top. You just got to have the drive and the commitment and put in the work.
So we've got ShinyZeni killing the pirates in the Green Pirate Shaft, which is a pretty big indication that he is going to be sticking with new route. We've got Jack and Caaaaarlito just kind of bodying through him, which is a pretty big indication that they're going to be doing old route. Generally with new route, you're more concerned about your health because going into Fantoon and Wreck Ship, the only E-Tank you pick up is the Terminator E-Tank, so you're generally going to be wanting to conserve your health as much as possible.
And Fantoon can be one nasty bugger.
Yes, the ghost is very, very rude.
Space Ghost is coming coast to coast.
I've forgotten Space Ghost was a thing.
Space Ghost is fantastic! Alright, so looks like we've got everybody out of early... Oh, no, we got 3 of the 4 out of early supers. We've got Ddraig heading into early supers, holding up very well for being very new to the community. And we've got a couple of hits there in the top left with ShinyZeni taking those hits on the way down, but his health is in fantastic shape despite that.
Yeah, so Zeni was trying to set up a pretty difficult mock ball there where you actually KO through the first bug and mock ball from that KO. It is slightly faster. You do sacrifice a little bit of health for it, but it's not near as much as you would lose in the Green Pirate Shaft, and there are a lot of opportunities to make that health up, so I imagine he's not too terribly concerned about it.
Oh yeah. And now we got one of my favorite strats coming up in the game, the mock ball out of charge, and it looks like we've got one completed with Jack. It took me a long time to implement that, but it just feels like some strats, when you complete them, they just feel so right. Kind of like hitting a good golf shot. Looks like we got another one there with ShinyZeni. I believe Caaaaarlito got it as well.
Caaaaarlito crossing the new bridge, the most aptly named room in the game, because if you don't know that there's a run button, you actually cannot progress any further in the game than that room.
I mean, who needs to read manuals, right?
Now we got confirmation. Zeni is going up Red Tower, so it looks like he is going to be doing new route here.
A new route? It's a risk. It's a risk. But it can definitely pay off.
I don't even know if Zeni has practiced old route at all. I know that he started out with Hundo. Lately, he's been working on RBO and recently got the RBO time down to sub-hour, and since then has been practicing new route. But I'm not sure he's ever even done old route.
That's some skill right there. All right, so we've got our first player going in, just about to hit into Kraid. That quick kill can mean a world of difference, not just because you save the time, but you'll take some extra damage and you might get health bombed if you aren't able to get that. All right, 2 players in for quick kill. Jack and Caaaaarlito staying very close here.
And as these guys are setting up for their great quick kills, we also got Zeni getting pretty close to the moat to set up for the double frame perfect CWJ.
That is a trick. Only the strong survive that trick. Looks like we do have another quick kill by Caaaaarlito. And it looks like, let's see this setup. He's on the missiles. Can he get the jump? We will see right here. And he makes it on the first try. That is impressive right there.
First try, every try.
Looks like a little bit of a safety farm there by Caaaaarlito as Jack makes his way out.
So while we have a quick second here, I do want to let everybody know that while we do have 4 runners here, these are actually 2 separate races. ShinyZeni is racing Ddraig, and Jack879 is racing Caaaaarlito. So those are the only opponent in this 4-way race that they are really concerned about. On top of that, this is a round-robin phase of the tournament, so losing this race does not mean any of these runners are out of the tournament by any stretch of the imagination. Each runner is guaranteed 4. Some of these guys are on their second, some of these guys are on their first, so there's still plenty of races to be had.
I mean, but truly, aren't we all competing against each other at heart?
I mean, maybe.
All right, and Ddraig getting the quick kill. I believe he did the 3 missile 2 super strat. However,
reverse that 2 missile 3 super.
Wow. I don't know. I never learned it. And we do have ShinyZeni in Phantoon, even scarier than normal because it's new route.
Yeah, he's got 2 less energy tanks than you can ideally have when you run
less ammo.
Less ammo, yeah, and also doesn't have various suit, so he's taking 40 damage from every hit instead of 20, which makes this a really, really dangerous fight.
Those blue balls will get you. All right, so we've got Bubble Mountain for Jack. Easy place for a lot of people to just mess up or choke. He gets it first try, but no matter how many times you make it up Bubble Mountain, you always got to whisper a little prayer to make it up in one try.
It looked like Jack used a hero shot set up there where he released a shot up at King Cac that, because he jumped to the right, ended up clearing him out of the way, making the jump up pretty free.
But you gotta charge that, which makes it a little bit harder to make the first jump. At least that's what I've found. Alright, we've got Phantoon or Space Ghost down. ShinyZeni taking him down on his way up. Well, we've got Speed Boost. We've got Caaaaarlito up Bubble Mountain. They are very close. Probably, what, 15 seconds, 20 seconds apart at this point?
Probably just a little bit more than that. I'd say closer to 25. Jack's already picked up Speed Booster and is on his way down to Wave.
Wave gate room can be troublesome if you miss that first jump. After that, it's pretty much free. Just don't turn back. Oh, but we do have a slight fall there. This does give Caaaaarlito a little bit of time to make up. If Caaaaarlito can do it flawlessly.
This is why I call Double Chamber the real worst room in the game.
And that's just another, looking up there at ShinyZeni, that's just another reason that a new route is so much harder. You don't get that quick speed boost. You have to take every one of those monsters out one by one.
Yeah, and generally that puts you in a worse ammo situation than when you're in old route, because not having the ability to, regardless of whether you do a spark across or do the speed keep, having to use your supers there really sets you back a little bit.
Exactly. And it looks like we got Ddraig headed through Cathedral. And we've got ShinyZeni heading into bowling as Jack makes his way out, headed to Frogway. Picking up Wave Beam by Caaaaarlito, not too far behind. Definitely a lot of time left in this race to make up the time discrepancy between the two of them. It is anybody's race at anybody's time.
Ddraig using the slightly safer pseudo screw strat to get it past King Cac there.
It's a solid strategy.
We've got Jack heading up to back up to Brinstar. So Jack ended up not picking up a third energy tank while Caaaaarlito did, and that's probably accounting for a pretty good amount of the difference between them right now. Unfortunately, this means Jack's not going to have the ability to do some strats out of safety like Alpha Spark, because he doesn't have as much energy as Caaaaarlito's going to have when he gets to the room below Spacer. So it is slightly slower, but and it is going to make Wreck Ship and Meridia a little bit tougher, but at their level, I don't think he's too terribly concerned about that.
And ultimately, even if you're not going for a 3-tank run, if you do want to get that 4th tank for that safety in Turian, it really comes down to, would you rather be sketchier up through Ridley or get that extra energy on the escape? Because you can pick up either of those tanks. So which one, you can decide that based on which you feel is your strength, your late game or your early game.
Right, well, and based on Jack's performance in his previous race, I imagine he's just going to 3-tank through it.
3-tank? It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
Roger, roger. Caaaaarlito getting first try hero shot there on the way up Red Tower as Ddraig's picking up Wave Beam, and Zeni is actually making his way back down Red Tower.
We've got both runners on the bottom getting very close. We've got Jack headed up to the moat while Caaaaarlito is about to grab those power bombs. Although we do have, Caaaaarlito was having a perfect route through there and just missed that last damage boost, but it's not going to set bad. It's only a few seconds. Definitely can make up that time. And Spacer. We all know that's your favorite beam.
Best beam in the game. Not just according to me, according to Antinomy, aka Sephi as well.
I'm just saying, Wave Beam, I'd rather have Wave Beam. I mean, if you're talking about what I'd prefer in real life, I mean, I think most of us can agree X-Ray is going to be the best technical beam.
Yeah, we got Jack heading into Fantoon here. Just
Space
barely
goes,
missing
coast
the...
to coast.
Yeah, it looks like he just barely missed the speed ball to break that block, so lost a couple seconds there, but nothing too major.
And looks like we've got Caaaaarlito crossing that moat. Oh! Unfortunately, the room was not open. That you just had a little bit of mispositioning on that power bomb can cause so much problems. Can happen to just about everybody. And so we've got Ddraig headed up Red Tower, while ShinyZeni is grabbing the high jump boots, the best item in the game. Jack here taking on Fantoon and getting quick. That was a very fast space skills. He is definitely going to save a little bit of time there if Caaaaarlito does not get that good RNG.
Yeah, I actually think that was a 3-round from Jack, but he got really, really good RNG. The last 2 patterns, I believe, were both fast patterns on the left side.
That was crazy. All right, so we've got this. Both runners, as you can see, missing that speed break, giving neither one of them an advantage. Ice coming up for ShinyZeni as Ddraig makes his way across, headed to those power bombs, dropping in a little bit. This is a very good run for a new runner. We do have that very fast X Factor there by Caaaaarlito. Not waiting for Fantoon to turn around and come back.
Looks like Ddraig's having some fun with Vileplume RTA.
All right. So Caaaaarlito taking Fantoon. That was very strong X Factors right there. Not waiting for that timing to come back around, just sticking with it, predicting that time. Definitely an impressive move there. We've got Jack headed over to bowling.
Yeah, bowling is going to be significantly safer for Jack879 and Ddraig than it was for ShinyZeni. The spikes, if you don't have various suit, do 60 damage. And when you only have 199, that means you can only take 3 hits before you die. Not only are Jack879 and Ddraig going to have more energy, but they also have various suits. So the spikes are only going to do 30 damage each, making it significantly safer.
We just have Jack sparking across. But even without sparking across there, with those speed boots, you're going to be able to complete that in fewer jumps.
Yeah, I believe the speed boost across takes around 100 energy, maybe a little bit more. It is significantly faster, but it does take a little bit more energy. So fortunately, when you have over 200, you're not too terribly worried about it.
Yes. It looks like we had a little bit of difficulty there, but we have Ddraig crossing the ocean, headed down to Phantoon. We'll see how Space Ghost treats our newest runner. Looks like Shiny getting a little bit wet in that lava there as he heads towards Wave Beam. And we have Jack picking up those missiles on the way back. Due to the connection, I'm not sure if that was an intentional strategy for safety or if that was an accident.
Generally, when you're playing at the level these runners are, if you pick up moat missiles, it is by accident. So I imagine that was the case.
Gotta leave room for plausible deniability, though.
Unless you're running new route like Zeni is, in which case moat missiles are very intentional.
Looks like we've got ShinyZeni. Yeah, this new route coming down.
Yep, got all his item collection done in Upper Norfair, getting ready to make his way down to Ridley. Getting into Lower Norfair is a little bit more difficult. You either have to do a shine spark in the lava room, which commonly referred to as the lava spark, which is pretty precise. And if you miss that, you have to do a gravity jump, and the gravity jump is pretty dangerous because you haven't picked up Varia at this point. So not only are you taking extra damage from the lava in the gravity jump, you're also taking heat damage from being in the heated room. But it looks like you got the lava spark first try, so no issue having to worry about the gravity jump.
I mean, it's always dangerous when you fall into a burning ring of fire. You'll go down, 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 and the flames, they'll go higher.
I feel like that is a more appropriate song for amphitheater.
That is true. That is true. And they'll burn, burn, burn.
Yeah, it looks like Zeni taking a safety save at the top of Red Tower, at the top of the Lower Norfair elevator. Not entirely surprising. I think he's feeling pretty comfortable considering his opponent and the current pace he's on. So he wanted to make sure that he didn't have any issues getting to Ridley, because the worst room in the game and the Key Hunter room are pretty intimidating when you don't have Screw Attack, don't have Space Jump, don't have a lot of the luxuries that you get in other categories.
Plus, there's been quite a few times where safety saves have made a difference or have the potential to have made a difference if they were taken so far in this tournament.
Zeni bonking that gold pirate up at the top of the worst room in the game. That's going to make this 44. Next section pretty rough. If he hits a Key Hunter in the next room, then that's going to be a rip, and he's going to have to go back to the...
He may definitely be appreciating that save here.
Yeah.
Looks like we had a fast bot swoon there by Jack. I looked down, he was fighting him. I looked back, he was done.
It looks like Jack missed the full halfie, so he's going through Coliseum the old-fashioned way.
Old-fashioned is not always better. I had an old-fashioned once. Was not to my liking. Alright, looks like we have ShinyZeni still making it through with that 44 energy. Every room he's going to encounter is going to be a danger. 37 with the mandatory hit.
Ooh, Caaaaarlito getting a beautiful one-round botwoon and the most insane drops I've ever seen.
And we have ShinyZeni going down. That definitely going to be happy he made that save.
Yeah, the Daskigas honestly are very dangerous as well. I'd argue almost as dangerous as the Key Hunters.
I think they're more dangerous
for Ridley though, so that's going to help out.
Yes, I would argue that they're more dangerous than the Key Hunters. The Key Hunters are very predictable in their movement, whereas I feel like the Hoppers are a lot more random, a lot harder to predict. Yeah, I'm heading back through that room now. Gonna try and make it past the Hoppers. He's passed 1, 2, 3. Just one more to avoid. And he makes it through.
Yeah, Daskigas in the Wasteland are very, very rude.
Alright, so we've
Jack had what I imagine is a fast Dragon fight. I blinked and I missed it. So now we've got Caaaaarlito coming into Dragon, and Ddraig is picking up Gravity Suit.
We've got that X Factor going there. That's definitely a very advanced strat for a newer runner.
Yeah, Caaaaarlito's I don't know how new Caaaaarlito.
Oh, sorry,
is.
I was thinking of the wrong person.
Yeah, Ddraig is I believe the newest runner of the 4. Yes. Caaaaarlito was doing a slightly different setup for the X Factor called the Rain Dance.
That was a crazy. Did all 4 of those hit? It looked like
I don't know if all 4, but I know more than one did.
And it looks like I'm not sure. Did Caaaaarlito get the spike suit?
Yes, Caaaaarlito did in fact get the spike suit. So to get the spike suit, it's a double frame perfect trick. You'll know you got it if you hold until you're blue and then release. You'll shoot into a wall. Getting blue is the indication that you got the spike suit. So as long as he doesn't do an input that would normally activate a spark, he'll be able to maintain that all the way up to the Coliseum to use it for the reverse halfie. Zeni setting up for the Ridley fight here. About halfway through already. This fight is a lot more comfortable than he's used to. He is used to running reverse boss order, so he's used to one-hit death.
We had a loss of that suit sparking up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see a Goop Spark with the spike suit. It's a little bit of a time loss. I want to say about 5-6 seconds. Fortunately, having Space Jump makes Coliseum still not too big of an obstacle.
Yes, it's still very quick. It is still definitely anybody's game. These racers are very close today. We've got Ridley here fighting ShinyZeni. Looks like it's going very swimmingly so far. Taking a little bit damage. We're down to 69 health now. This could get a little scary. 39! Escaping with 39. Now,
and the clench, if he got hit by Ridley's body that one more time, that would have been a death.
That was close.
Ooh, and not getting very good luck with drops. He's only got one super leaving Ridley's room.
Skipping the Ridley tank.
Farm the Metal Pirates. No, Zeni runs 3. I imagine he'll pick up the Botwoon E-Tank as his final. Got Jack making his way out of Meridia and down to Lower Norfair or Upper Norfair to pick up Ice Beam, and then on his way down to Lower Norfair. Ddraig actually picking up the Crab Supers as a safety. Running with 15 is definitely a little bit safer. You don't have to worry about your ammo as much on Botwoon, and it will also make it a little bit easier in Turian, though it does cost a little bit of time to get it because they're not strictly necessary.
Yes, but as we've seen, safeties can make all the difference sometimes. This is a tournament setting. There are going to be those people who are going to take the safe route, and that could definitely get them to advance. And then you have people who are going to take and just go balls to the wall and do whatever they can to save whatever time they can. The difference of strategies, and both have their advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, Zeni has to be really careful dealing with these key hunters here. Each of them do 50 damage.
We're down to 55.
Yeah, and well, he'll probably try and pick up a little bit here along the way, but each of them do 50 damage, and you don't have what you normally have to deal with them. Like, you don't have Plasma Beam to clip through them, you don't have Screw Attack to kill them instantly. It definitely is a lot harder coming through Lower Norfair with New Round, and we'll definitely see that come into play when we get to Three Musketeers coming up here pretty soon. Ddraig making short work of Botwoon and getting ready to head over to Dragon, as Caaaaarlito is getting back into Norfair, and Jack taking North Route, getting pretty close to the Lower Norfair elevator. Really still a pretty close race between Jack and Caaaaarlito. I'd say they're within about a minute of each other.
Look at that health by ShinyZeni. That was close right there. It's pretty safe here. I mean, technically you could still collide with one of these enemies. Looks like Zeni's going to play it safe to avoid ripping there.
Yeah, fortunately he's guaranteed to get a big energy from King Cac here. So he'll be in a pretty healthy spot here in just a second.
34 health. Still, on this kind of a stage, running with that kind of health has to be wearing on his nerves at this point. Jack headed through worst room in the game.
It's an interesting choice of him to opt not to farm at the room right before Frog Speedway, because he has no supers right now, and is going to have to get some to get up into Meridia. Got one, so has just enough for the one that he's going to need to open up the green door before the aqueduct. But he's not going to have a single super unless he can find some somewhere to go up against Botwoon. Also, I've totally skipped. He's got to go to Kraid first, so he's going to collect all his supers from Mini Kraid. Ignore me.
Well, there you go. Looks like we got Ddraig sparking. Looks like he's doing pretty well there with Dragon, which can definitely be a challenge for early runners. Sparking a little bit early there, but still very impressive. Not missing any of the sparks I've seen so far, at least any of the charges. And commentator's luck. It's like we got Jack headed down. I believe he got the Kegel there, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not either. So it looks like we got Caaaaarlito setting up for fast pillars, and then he's going to be on his way into the worst room in the game. Ddraig making short work of Dragon here. Didn't get the blue suit, which is unfortunate, but only about a 6-second loss overall. ShinyZeni taking out Kraid, getting some really trolly drops from Kraid, but
only
still
one super.
Making pretty quick work of him. Going to be making his way now over to Meridia, and we'll have about 5 supers after killing Mini Kraid again. Or 4. It looks like he's going to use his only super to kill Mini Kraid there.
Looks like he's going to double farm for safety.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Getting 4 or almost guaranteed super drops from Mini Kraid there will put him in a much better position going into Meridia.
And we got Jack taking down Ridley. Is he going to go for the safety tank, though? Does not look like it. While we've got Caaaaarlito headed through there. Let's see if Caaaaarlito gets that right here. Oh, missing the first KO. Gonna head through. We'll save a little bit of energy here. So we've got Ddraig headed up towards Plasma, while ShinyZeni makes his way all the way to Botwoon, the trolliest snake in the game.
Yeah, fortunately, doing New Route, if you have an unfortunate situation on Botwoon where you miss your X Factor or you miss a couple supers, you can turn on your full beam combo and actually do more damage than you would do doing Old Route, because you already have Spazer and Ice at this point. So you're fully charged, full power for new route beam will actually do the same amount of damage as your super as well. So if the worst comes to pass here on Botswoon, he's still going to be in a pretty good spot. Caaaaarlito going up against the crap dragon here.
And we've got the snake down. That was fast. I think we can all aspire to have a Botswoon time that quick.
Just barely missing the mock ball into the Botswoon E-Tank there. It's definitely a swaggy strat. And Ddraig falling in Plasma Spark.
Not taking the backup strats there, however. All right, we've got everybody. We've got Caaaaarlito out of Ridley.
Yeah, it looks like Jack and Caaaaarlito are both just making their way to G4 now so they can deal with Turian. They're through, one would argue, most of the hard spots. And we've got Ddraig getting ready to make his way down to the lower Norfair, while Zeni is getting ready to go into the Dragon fight. Really, it's going to be kind of difficult to tell what kind of pace these runners are on the top here. ShinyZeni versus Ddraig until close to G4.
Golden Girl.
So Turian is going to be roughly a minute slower for Zeni because he has a beam that only does 300 damage charge for Mother Brain, where Ddraig is going to have one that does 900. Doing a third of the damage means he's going to have to do 60 shots instead of 20, which is about 40-second time loss there, if not more. And then on top of that, Turian itself, dealing with the Metroid rooms, is going to be slightly slower because he doesn't have space jump to work with.
We have a very clean exit
picked up
there.
By the shrimp there.
We did have a very clean exit there by Caaaaarlito. And we've got Ddraig grabbing that ice. Alright, we're watching ShinyZeni take on Bing Mama Shrimp. That was a special spark there.
That was a pretty dangerous spark to do. Zeni just barely missing the spikes. He was a frame off there. He didn't turn blue with it, so you know he didn't get it. And they're missing the frame again. Looks like he's not going to be doing another attempt. He's just going to keep going without it and deal with Coliseum the old-fashioned way. This is going to lose a little bit more than the 6 seconds that you lose in old route because he doesn't have space jump to just womple across. He's actually got to go through basically the same way he came in.
And, you know, you can never get back in the way it came out. That's what Christmas has taught me. You try and return any of those gifts at Christmas, it ain't going back in that box. Alright, looks like we got Jack down at the Golden Girls. That's what I like to call them anyways. If you had to say which of the four golden statues would be Betty White?
I mean, that's hard to say.
I feel like Ridley. I feel like Ridley would have to be Betty White. It's like shining a little bit of difficulty with that speed there on the way out. And we've got Ddraig headed down into Lower Norfair. The hottest area of the game, I believe.
I do believe that's correct.
It's real spicy.
Almost as spicy as bomb chorizo brand chorizo sauce.
I don't know if I trust that. Is it 1,000 years old?
Something like that.
I don't know if the aging process really improves hot sauce. I know it works on wine.
We have confirmation from chat that Betty White is clearly Dragon.
Oh, well, there we go. Betty White is clearly Dragon. Ridley is Sophia. Looks like we got good health here. Jack headed across. I'm assuming here is going to attempt baby skip. That dust chorizo costing him a little bit of time though, as I've been yelled at repeatedly for. Oh, we got ShinyZeni headed to Torian as well. And it looks like he got it. Looks like Jack did get the baby skip there.
Jack doing the space jump baby skip. That is a terrifying skip.
It is. Especially with as close as that got, just a few frames more, and that would have been what? 40-second loss with a save and a death, if not more.
Oh, I don't know if it would have been a save and a death.
Well, if it was a few frames later, and he went through the door as the Metroid grabbed him.
Oh yeah, he would have gotten slow locked and had to reset. He wouldn't have had to die, just save and reset.
Yeah.
Zeni making it to G4 here, shortly behind Caaaaarlito. So these two are on pretty comparable paces. Caaaaarlito a little bit ahead, getting to G4, and he's going to have a faster Turian because of Plasma Beam and Space Jump. So I imagine that'll come into play. We've got Ddraig finishing up using Super Strats on the Metal Pirates as Jack is heading into Mother Brain 2.
Although, Mother Brain, 3 tanks. You can't mess up there. Can only take, what, 1 onion?
2. He's got most of the attacks are going to do 20 damage, and he's got 349 energy. He only needs 301. Yeah. So, with the exception of Ketchup, he can take 2 hits. Not that it matters because Mother Brain 2 has already been dispatched, and Ddraig is getting started with his Ridley fight.
And Ridley going ham with the fireballs right now. That is possibly one of the worst parts. I would much rather take a slow Ridley with a lot of swoops than a faster one with all the fireballs and the bouncing, personally. It looks like it's getting dangerous here. Do we know if Ddraig has taken any safety saves?
If he has, I haven't seen it.
This could be dangerous. But when you're stacked up against tough competition, sometimes you feel you can't take those safety saves. Down to 1 health. This is very dangerous here. We do not want to see a rip. Going safe there. Oh! That tail coming out of nowhere. Hopefully Ddraig had a safety save that we did not. Oh no! Oh no!
All the way back at the ship. Feels bad, man.
We've seen this happen before, as early as yesterday. In the same circumstances too. That is unfortunate.
Looks like Zeni got a little shafted on supers there. Gonna have to open up the first door with missiles and then do the missile refill. It's gonna cost a few seconds. Fortunately, still has 9 supers, so isn't gonna have to lose a bunch more time because of that. But still, unfortunate to not have full ammo. That's one of the downsides of running in 1510 is when you don't get full supers, you have to adapt accordingly. You can have 9 and kind of deal with it if you run 20 missiles.
We do have a successful baby skip by Caaaaarlito. And really, really good energy coming in here. And we have our last baby skip. We have ShinyZeni getting the baby skip as well.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Zeni take the health refill here since he's already going to be in the room. It's not going to be that much of a time loss, and that would put him in a safer position for Mother Brain.
Oh, definitely. Being able to take 3 hits versus 2 can make all the difference sometimes.
Jack having a damageless Mother Brain 3 fight.
That was fantastic. You really don't get much better than that.
And into the final escape sequence. At this point, it's pretty fair to say that risk of rip on a run is pretty low. There are a couple ways you can lose time in the escape, but an actual death once you've started the escape is pretty rare. So it looks like we're going to have to chalk up our 4th win in a row for Black Timer.
I feel like we need to put out an APB to take down Black Timers. We can't let this go uncontested.
Oh no, there's no way to stop the Black Timer uprising. It's not possible. Jack getting a very nice behemoth spark there.
It is definitely a riskier spark, however. You have a lot more that you can run into. Looks like we've got ShinyZeni. Well, we have ShinyZeni taking on Mother Brain 1. And we've got Caaaaarlito finishing off Mother Brain, who just has to finish out the race now.
And we've got Jack finishing with an official SRL time of 45 minutes and 2 seconds. And like I said, bringing in that 4th win in a row to Blat Timer.
It is essential that you do put done into the bot, into the SRL. There have been several runners that have had delayed entrances into there, costing them a little bit of time.
I feel like you're telling a personal tale now, Meta.
I've messed up so many ways in this tournament. I feel everybody's pain. I definitely feel Ddraig's pain here. But Ddraig just playing on for the crown. I don't know if Ddraig is playing to complete a whole run or just continue through the rest of the race. Got that long drawn out time by ShinyZeni for Mother Brain with Spazer instead of Plasma.
Yeah, it does make the fight a little bit slower. He's got to put in 60 shots as opposed to 20 that the other runners are going to have to do. Getting some pretty aggressive patterns from Mother Brain here.
He just wants to spend more time with Big Mama. I mean, when was the last time he visited Big Mama's house? We got Caaaaarlito finishing up the run here. Ddraig taking on Bomb Chorizo. And it looks like ShinyZeni is guaranteed a completion now as well. Next to no chance of rip.
Still a few ways that some time can be lost, but all in all, going to be able to complete the run without too much issue.
I have, however, seen runners, not in this tournament, but I have seen a runner rip on the climb by missing the spark and dying in that lava. So it is possible.
So the only place I've ever seen anybody die after Mother Brain 2 was, I believe, Cerium on Mother Brain 3. Which is really only happened because he stopped paying attention.
It does happen. It is an hour, almost an hour run. I mean, 3/4 of an hour. You do have to make sure you pay attention for the whole run. ADHD can be a cruel mistress. We got the spark up by Caaaaarlito.
So far, 2 for 2 for runners making the objectively correct decision to let the animals die.
I'm just saying.
Caaaaarlito finishing with an official SRL time of 48 minutes and 16 seconds. GG Caaaaarlito.
It's a good time. Very impressive. And we have ShinyZeni finished here, just finishing out the run. Oh! Jack putting up something there on the screen. Don't know if you caught that.
That's the hidden best ending for Super Metroid.
Jack's official time, once again, was a 45:02. All we've got here is ShinyZeni finishing up the race. Oh yeah, Ddraig continuing on valiantly. Being that people's champion we all know. We all love. A left side spark. I have not actually seen that before. Does that provide any advantages?
I don't know, actually. I think that's the second time I've ever seen him do it. I don't know what the difference is.
Oh! Looks like ShinyZeni's going for the animals.
Is he making the objectively wrong decision
Or
here?
maybe not. Maybe he's just toying with them. Pretending to kill them himself.
Okay, he's just memeing it up at this point, let's be honest. Still, even acknowledging their existence is questionable.
I don't know, I like that. That's a baller move right there. He's a baller, shot caller.
And we've got ShinyZeni memeing it up some more.
And we have a completion there. ShinyZeni finishing with a 50-36.
He could have had the sub 50, but he just had to meme it up there.
I don't know. I'm just saying, providing entertainment is never a bad decision. And looks like we do have the official forfeit by Ddraig. That will bring us to a close for both races, with ShinyZeni and Jack both taking home the victories. Will anybody be able to stop the Blatt reign of terror?
Blatt timer will reign supreme. I'm checking right now to see if we can get any of our runners in for an post-race interview.
Do we have anyone that wants to talk to us?
Looks like we've got our first one. Ddraig, how are you doing, man?
I'm alright, man, you know. Race didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but otherwise, not too bad.
Feel your pain, Ddraig. Basically, the same exact thing. We just went through the same exact thing in consecutive days.
Oh, man, it happens, you know. I did it to myself. I should have paid more attention to my health at the end of the day.
I really can be a bit of a troll, but that's a fact.
be.
He's really rough, especially like if you play categories other than any percent in Hundo. Ridley is terrifying.
Oh no, I was just myself. My fault, really. At the end of the day, didn't just pay attention to what I was doing. Couldn't at all get him to turn around for me, as you probably noticed.
Yes, there was fire everywhere.
Why is Cheaty so excited over my accent?
I have no idea.
I mean, hey, I feel like that's a good thing. You just capitalize off that accent.
Hey man, if it works out, it works out. I'll take it.
Exactly. I'm just saying, maybe like get into a Discord with the person you're racing, distract them with sweet nothings in your accent. I feel like this could be a legitimate strategy in this tournament.
We'll see if we can get someone to go for it. I mean, I think I'm playing next Thursday, the 26th, is it? No. Yeah, 26th. I think I got Spiriax then, so we'll give it a try on Spiriax, see if we can get that working.
Do it.
While you're here, I know that your name is incredibly difficult to pronounce. I feel like we did our best, but why don't you tell everybody how your name is actually pronounced?
It's Caaaaarlito. As the whole thing, we'll just Ddraig as we've shortened it for the tournament to make it a bit easier. But I'm fine with Ddraig or something like that if it's easier for you.
Can we just call you D Money?
Well, when I start making that money, yeah, why not? Oh man, is anyone else coming in for a chat, or is it just me?
I think it's just us being serenaded by your smooth, dulcet tones.
Yeah, all 4 runners are welcome to join if they like. It is completely optional, but we would love an opportunity to talk to all of them. So we're glad you at least stepped in. If the others choose not to, then that was entirely their prerogative.
Nah, man, happy to join, mate. It's always good to have a chat with you guys. It's a bit strange, like you're used to on the weeklies where you've got everyone typing in, you know, your Ceres time, your your bombs time. And it's just completely silent on it. It's just very different.
It's a whole different ball of wax.
Oh yes, definitely.
So, in your next run, is there anything you're going to change?
I plan not to die next time. Yeah, definitely that
Are
one.
you maybe going to be looking at safety save or anything along those lines next time around?
To be honest, probably not. The guys who are in my group, apart from I think Stump, all have times in the 7 to 10 minute range better than my PB for their own.
I was going to say.
You got to just go for it sometimes.
Exactly. I was going to ask if you felt compelled to just kind of throw it all out there on the table, given that you're running up against people with quite a bit of a time differential on you.
Well, I mean, ShinyZeni can do the game backwards 2 minutes slower than I can do it forwards, so had to do what I could to push the pace.
It's funny you mentioned that. I remember at one point him saying if he's going to go up against somebody who has a time of greater than an hour, he's going to do an RBO run just for the lulz.
Oh, in fairness, that would be fun to watch.
And
it's still any percent at the end of the day.
It is. Any percent for fame and fortune.
No, definitely. I definitely would want to see that. It's a pity there's no one in our group, I suppose. But you know what? If he ever wants to do it up against me, I'm happy to turn it round, have a race on this just randomly one day, and he can RBO, I'll go forward. We'll see how it goes.
You can meet in the middle, right?
That's it, man. That's it. He'd probably still beat me, sod's law, but that's life, isn't it?
But you have your secret. You have your secret strategy. You just got to sneak into his DMs with that voice.
Oh, we'll give it a go. We'll see how it works out, isn't it? Right, I better bounce out because it is 12:15 here, so in the night.
Yeah, get to bed, man.
Have a good evening.
So thank you guys, thank you to everyone watching, and I'll see you all soon.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for coming in. With that, I do believe that we are going to have one more race today, and that is going to be Galamaz versus Janice Zeal on the Speedruns Live channel. That'll be here in an hour and 15 minutes if you guys want to tune in for that. And I believe that's the last race for the day. We do have a lot of races scheduled the next 2 days, however. So there'll be a lot more Super Metroid action this weekend. And there'll be even more
action.
Absolutely, and there'll be even more coming. This round robin phase is 5 weeks long, guys. Over the next 4 weeks, we're going to finish the remainder of our, I believe, 84 races that we have in this round robin phase. So there's going to be a lot of action.
Because you have 100 racers, and there has to be 5 races per racer. I mean, even if you divide that by 2, that's still 250. Have we already done 170 some odd races?
I have no idea what your math is doing, dude. Every person has 4 races.
Oh, I thought it was 5 races.
There's 5 people in each group, so there's 4 races.
Oh, yep, that's right. So
I feel like that's right. It might not be. Either way,
that should still
thank
be.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be signing off here. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Signing off.